Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Salatu wassalamu ala Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een, amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, we are here. We should make intention why we're here. Why we're here? Nothing else to do? Huh? To understand the Qur'an. Anything else? Why we need to understand the Qur'an? Why do we need to understand the Qur'an? So we're here to understand Qur'an, yeah? Why? Why do you have to understand it?
So we know what we have to do.
So we know what we have to do, yeah? What to do? Any elaboration? What if we don't understand the Qur'an?
Then we are lost.
Then we are lost. How does it feel to be lost? How does it feel when you're lost? You don't get lost nowadays because you got Google Maps.
Helpless.
Helpless. How else do you feel when you're lost?
Scared.
Scared? Darkness? Anything else?
Don't know where you're going.
Don't know where you're going?
No right.
No guidance? Good. Alhamdulillah. So we're clear, alhamdulillah, why we're here and what we're hoping to achieve, inshallah. As the Imam said, this is the beginning of the journey, yeah? This is the beginning. The Prophet ﷺ, he spent how much time with the Qur'an in this life? Approximately how many years? 23 years. Yeah? That teaches us many things. One thing it teaches us is that we need to spend most of our life with the Qur'an. And inshallah, it's very clear why we need to do that. In the first surah, we're going to go through Surat Al-Fatiha, and on purpose I have not put the translation there. So I need a volunteer to read it. Is it clear? Can you see? Sisters can see from the back? You're going to volunteer or you're going to volunteer someone? Bismillah. Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Ihdina as-Sirat al-Mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Ameen. I need a volunteer to translate it now. Translate Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
I don't know. Go, read.
Ask your brother, one of your brothers.
Start in the name of Allah.
Beginning in the name of Allah, good.
All praise be to Allah, the Lord of the world.
Okay, so Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, somebody said Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, what does it mean? Most gracious, most merciful. And then you translated that, can you say it loud? What's the meaning?
All praise be to Allah, the Lord of the world.
Good. All praises to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And then Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim means most gracious, most merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. You say out loud.
We only worship you.
We only worship you, okay?
We only seek help from you.
We only seek help from you.
Keep us on the straight path. Show us the
Keep us on the straight path, guide us to the straight path, show us the straight path.
It's not the path, it's also
Think about it.
path path of those that you are.
Go and try again.
But the path of those who are upon astray and your anger.
You're missing one thing in the beginning. You've added the last two.
The path of those whom you have favoured.
The path of those whom you have favoured. And then?
Not the path of those who earned your anger or upon astray.
Good. Not the path of those who earned your anger or have gone off the rails, if you like. Yeah? That ayah, usually if we have time, because we don't have, this is a short session, we need at least a day to do this. I wouldn't say properly, but in slightly better. We actually need 2 full days for this. But inshallah, I'm hoping that once we've done 2-3 hours, you're going to say, oh my God, we need more time for this. That's what I'm hoping. And then you're going to, by popular demand, we're going to do at least another day's course, inshallah. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to gather from this. This is the crux of this surah. Now, I don't like telling you things, to be honest. I like you to tell me things. But because of time, I'm having to fast forward a lot of things. This is the crux of this surah. What is the crux of this surah, this ayah? What does this ayah say?
Straight path.
Straight path.
Guide me to the hidayah.
Guide us to the straight path, the hidayah. What does that mean? What does that mean? Guide us to the straight path. What does that mean? We are in need of what? Help? Guidance.
Roadmap.
Good, roadmap. That's coming inshallah soon. MashaAllah. You haven't been to this before, have you?
I have watched your videos.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Khair. Yes, we need a roadmap. We need Google Maps. Or Waze. Is it Waze? The new way of... Anyway, let's have a look at guidance. Hidayah. The first group of surahs, I'm going to introduce all that to you. This will be the longest part of today. To set some foundations, some clarity. Inshallah, once this is clear, everything else will follow. Yeah? You might feel, and this happens a lot, you might feel that the last stuff was rushed a bit. There's 2 reasons for that. Is time constraint. The other is, if I don't spend ample time in the beginning, the other stuff doesn't make sense. Yeah? So just be prepared for that, inshallah. Guidance. Allah Ta'ala created everything and He has given everything guidance. Everything. Surah Nur mentions that. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Ayah 30, I think. Or 35. One of those. It means, summary, it means Allah guides everything. Is the guiding light for everything in the heavens and the earth. We home in to us, humans. Allah created every human with guidance. The first aspect of that guidance is something called Fitrah. What does this word Fitrah mean to you? Let's have some ideas. Nature. Fitrah.
Natural instinct.
Natural instincts or instinct. What else? How do you explain Fitrah to 11-year-old, 10-year-old? Feeling. Okay, maybe something to do with that. How do you explain Fitrah to people who are obsessed by... Where's my phone? You can see I'm not obsessed about it because I don't even know what it is. Huh?
That's your fitrah.
Alhamdulillah. Fitrah is your factory settings. You know that word? You heard of that? Factory settings. If your phone is not working properly, somebody will reset it to its original settings as if it was new, yeah? Fitrah. Every human has been given fitrah. Fitrah has a few aspects to it that we all, like the brother said, feel or we experience. Any ideas what they are? We all experience it.
Hunger, thirst, like we feel hungry.
Okay, we have needs. I need a bit more than that. Something that guides us.
Distinction between right and wrong.
Okay, so distinction between right and wrong. Can I have one word for that? Morality. Happy? What else? Fitrah. Belief. Technically no. Potentially yes. That's what I'm going to say. So I'm trying not to give too much away. I want you to think. We need to start thinking. Not being spoon-fed. Yeah? When we think, things happen.
Because they say that akhirah is part, belief in the akhirah
Good.
is part of the fitrah.
I would say morality is proof that there's an akhirah. Good and bad leads to something, yeah? We have the instinct of being grateful. Gratitude. What's the Arabic for that? Shukr. We have the instinct of being grateful for things. Yeah? Because we recognize the benefit something or somebody does to us. We have another instinct. Quran mentions this. When you're in dire straits, when you're in big problem. Anybody remember anything?
You pray.
I need a bit more elaboration. What do you mean by that?
So we ask for help. From
Good. We ask for help. We say help. The Quran mentions that, doesn't it? Have anybody gone on a cruise? Ship, on a cruise, P&O, nothing like that? No. We go to PIA, not P&O. Yeah, you're on a ship, you're on a cruise, it's really nice, it's sunny, it's breezy, and suddenly what happens?
Tide comes.
Tide, storm, clouds, danger, imminent. That's it. No hope. Gone. What does the person instinctively do? Asks for help. Looks up and says, help me, save me. And also says, I will be good, whatever that means. If you save me, I'll be good. Yeah? This is our fitrah. This is our guidance. Internal, initial guidance Allah gave every human being. Prophet ﷺ said something about that. What was it?
Every child is born in Fitrah.
I need somebody else to speak as well. So you choose somebody to speak, brother. Go on. Make it a bit more interesting and engaging.
You speak.
I speak, mashallah. There was one.
Pointing to him.
Oh, right, you speak. The question, let me reiterate the question because we've lost the question. The question is, what did the Prophet ﷺ say about this fitrah, this instinct, this nature? You know?
It's same with everyone.
Good, it's same with everyone. Any elaboration on that?
Every child is born in a state of fitrah.
Yeah, every child, newborn, is born ala fitrah, on this factory setting, this initial natural disposition, nature, blah blah blah, yeah? What changes it? Environment, parents. The hadith mentions the parents can make the person Christian, Jew, etc. And then there's a part after that which usually I used to neglect, because that you think, oh, I've got it, then you forget the last part of the hadith. Anybody know the last part of the hadith? Prophet ﷺ again gave an example. He gave an observation, an example that the people of that time could observe. We can observe it today as well. Maybe not as much as them times. He said that just like a newborn, if we take our terminology, spring lamb, is born whole, wholesome, yeah, without any defect. But then there was some weird custom where they would slit the ears of the animals or damage the animal in some form. Prophet ﷺ elaborated. He said, every person is born on this natural, complete guidance. Environment, external factors change it. You know, there's a nature versus nurture argument. This is our instinctive guidance. Allah gave us this. Any question about that? Anything you want to add to that? When you talk to non-Muslims about Islam, this is where you start, yeah? Fitrah. Because we will have it. That's another course, inshallah. We'll do that, dawah training. Alright. So we've got our fitrah as our initial guidance. Allah Ta'ala then sent something called wahi. What is wahi? Revelation. What does that mean? What does the word revelation mean?
Guidance.
Because it gives you guidance, but what does the word mean?
The thing you don't know, so you are revealed.
Yes, something that is not apparent. It is revealed to you. It is shown to you. Because you are not able to see it yourself. Yeah? Revelation essentially means what to us? Two things it means to us. We all know. What does it mean to me and you? When you say wahi, don't keep putting your hand up. It delays things. Just speak. So what is it? Qur'an and the Prophet ﷺ. Yeah? وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Qur'an is the wahi Allah Ta'ala sent to Muhammad ﷺ through who? Jibreel alayhi salam. Yeah? Over how long? 23 years. How much of that time did he spend ﷺ in Makkah? 12 to 13 years in Makkah. How long in Medina? Simple. 10 years, yeah? Good. Wahi is a detailed guidance, practical demonstration of the guidance. It's a bit like Google Maps. You look for your destination, it brings up the map and steps, doesn't it? 50 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 5 miles, etc. Step by step by step by step by step. We need step by step guidance. You appreciate this the more older you get. The younger we are, the less we think, I don't need guidance, I know what to do. I know everything. The older you get, you think, I don't really know anything. Allah Ta'ala, He knows that because He made us like that. He has sent guidance step by step in every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. Now, if somebody says to you, I'm going to pose a question to you, yeah? Someone says to you, I'm a really good person. I don't harm anyone. I care about people. I give charity. I don't need a religion. I don't need God. What do you say to that? You can't say that to the person that you're arrogant. Not straight away, anyway. Huh? What do you say? Where do you start? From what we've discussed. So you talk about fitrah. What do you mean by evidence?
Why don't you believe?
Okay, maybe you can go down that path. About guidance. I want to talk just about guidance because this is our topic right now. Guidance. What we don't appreciate when we think like that is that we actually need guidance. Everybody needs guidance. That's why you have something called consultancy. Yeah? You have different departments, if you look everywhere, different departments of whatever, any field. People are specializing in things to guide each other. Yeah? We need guidance. Anyway, that's as I said, that's part of the dawah training, inshallah. If we do that, we'll go through that. So Allah Ta'ala has given us fitrah and He's given us wahi. When we say ihdinas Surat Al-Mustaqim, what are we saying? Guide us to what? Which of these two? Hmm? There's no right or wrong answer, it's whatever you think.
Fitrah.
So I've got fitrah. Huh? What are we asking for guidance? What are we asking here? It's obvious, I'm not making it difficult. Both. Yeah. Keep my fitrah intact. Keep my nature pure. Don't allow it to be negatively influenced, because they will lead to my misguidance. Yeah? Okay, we move on. Next thing we need in guidance is something called tawfiq. What's one word for tawfiq in English? How would you explain tawfiq? Simple. Huh? Blessing. I'm not sure about that. That sounds too religious. What do you say? Ability. What else? Acceptance. Okay, yeah. You know, sometimes you say to your friend or your whoever, you say, may Allah guide you, man. That doesn't mean may Allah make you Muslim because you're Muslim, yeah? What does it mean?
Understanding.
Yeah, may Allah give you understanding, may Allah give you ability to understand and do the right thing. So when we're saying Allah guide us, we're asking Allah now three things. Give me tawfiq, inclination, can't be bothered. Common phrase, this is so long. Everything is long. Yeah? Everything's long. Sign of weakness. People who say that is a sign of weakness. This is long. Yeah? Because you underestimate yourself. So tawfiq, we also ask Allah, give us the guidance. You've shown us the guidance. Now give me ability and inclination to follow the guidance. And it doesn't stop there. There's one other aspect. Anybody going to tell us what they think that might be? You don't have to guess what I think it is. You might have another idea that I haven't thought about. So that tawfiq will give you the guidance to act. Think long term. That's within tawfiq.
Consistency.
Consistency for how long?
To get to the heavens.
Good. Istiqamah until we get to Jannah. While we are going over the Sirat. You heard of this Sirat? Who can tell us about Sirat? Pull Sirat, we say in Urdu. What does it mean? Sharper than a sword.
Thinner than air.
Thinner than anything you can imagine, yeah? This is a physical actuality. It's not just an idea, yeah? Qur'an mentions it, Hadith mentions it. When we say Ihdina Surat Al-Mustaqim, we say, oh Allah, guide me through my life. You gave me fitrah, you gave me wahi, give me tawfiq, I follow this, and I guide me on the sirat to enter Jannah. This is what we mean when we say Ihdina Surat Al-Mustaqim. Any question? Anything to add? Elaborate, suggest? Clear? What we need to really believe means we actually here and here we say yeah, is that we always are in need of guidance. We are all in need of guidance, so much so that Allah Ta'ala has guided us to ask for it how many times a day? So if you add it all up, but different times of the day, 5 times, eh? And so many rak'ah, 18. Yeah? That is how much we are in need of guidance. Do you see this picture? So now when we know we are that much in need of guidance, what should our attitude now be towards gaining that guidance?
Thabat.
Sorry?
Thabat. Will this come in which Thabat?
Thabat would be tawfiq, wallahu alam, and sirat. Wallahu alam, yani. Meaning steadfastness. So what was the question?
Attitude towards.
Yes, what now should be my attitude if I know guidance is that important?
Seek it.
seek it, but how? I need some verbs to explain how I'm going to seek it.
Spend time.
Time, spend my time. What else?
You should be motivated.
Motivated. What else?
You should work hard.
Work hard. What else? How would you feel that you want to pursue this guidance? How would your feeling be? Huh? Yeah, but how would you feel for this thing? I'm so much in need of it. What's my attitude? What's my feeling for this?
Desire, hunger.
A desire for it, a hunger for it, a desperation for it. This is how we need to approach Qur'an. You see that? When we, inshallah, access Qur'an, so I said access, I didn't say read or understand, I meant access means comprehensive. When we access Qur'an, this is our motivation, our focus. I need guidance. I'm going to be guided through it. Not, I know everything, I'm just reading it because it's a nice thing to read. Then things change. Then Allah gives guidance. May Allah guide us, inshallah. I mean, anything about guidance, this was a bit of detail because everything else will now follow. Anything not clear? Happy? Bored? Not yet? Maybe? Not tired yet? Okay. A comfortable, hot, cold? We can open doors and windows if we can, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Oh, aircon is on. Alhamdulillah, then inshallah should be okay, yeah? Sisters, is this making sense to you? Alhamdulillah. Please share whatever you want to share. If you're not happy speaking, write and send it.
So another question.
Yeah.
So you said Ihdina Sirata al-Mustaqim is like the crutch of the ayah of Surah Fatiha. How do you I guess the ayah before, when I was reading where they were saying that the is also...
You need to watch another video for that, yeah? That's another video. Surah Al-Fatiha, Tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha. On the back of your booklet, there's the website. I'll tell you about the courses, inshallah, at the end. Remind me, inshallah, yeah? Good question. Alhamdulillah, already makes you realize you're thinking. Alhamdulillah. Allah gave us this, yeah? This should be used the most. You know, on your mobile, it says percentage usage by the battery, yeah? What's usually at the top? You don't have to disclose it if you don't want. Stuff like YouTube, WhatsApp, whatever, yeah? Whatever you use a lot. When we look at our usage of our this, it should be what at the top? Seeking guidance. Qur'an. And Allah made it very easy, inshallah, we'll see it, how easy that is to, inshallah, for us to become like that. Okay. Any question before we go into the actual overview of the Qur'an? Okay, khair then, alhamdulillah. In your booklet, let me bring up the booklet. In the booklet, the first few pages, you should be able to see what I can see. Yeah? So if you open that up, and if you can see that, I don't know how, is that clear? Yeah? It's in Urdu. Sorry. I don't think, have you got any English spares? No English spares. Khair, you share inshallah. For now, yeah? I don't have any more. Alhamdulillah, I'm overwhelmed to be honest. Usually in London, you get 10, 15 people, you get happy. Outside London, 50, no problem. Alhamdulillah. But mashallah, there's barakah here. Alhamdulillah. Khair. Quranic Overview. Now, first question that comes to a lot of people's minds, what's this all about? Where'd you get these 6 groups from? Is this some bid'ah? Huh? Allah al-Musta'an. Very short answer to that. No, this is reflecting in the Quran, yeah? You know, when you analyze things, you reflect, you start to see things. The more familiar you are with things, the easily you can categorize things, yeah? This is what this is. This is based on the work of many people, ongoing. This is ongoing, yeah? Work. Main people involved in this are people like Amin Hassan Islahi, you may not have heard of them, etc. But that's irrelevant, to be honest. You yourself, I didn't believe this until I read the Quran myself with this in mind. I'm convinced that this is a way of looking at the Quran, not the only way, yeah? So being very open-minded about this. Okay. 6 groups of surahs. How do we break them down? They're in front of you. First 5 surahs, they have a central theme according to this reflection of the Quran. They have Sharia as the central theme. We're going to discuss that. Next group of surahs then shows us what is the prophetic methodology of the Prophet ﷺ of achieving the vision given in the first group of surahs. Third group of surahs is there to motivate us. Because you know the Sharia, which means path, you know the Prophet ﷺ's way of following the path, now you need motivation to follow it yourself. And then the last 3 groups, I'm going to go through this many times today, yeah? So don't worry that, I'm not quite getting it yet. I'm going to repeat it a lot of times, inshallah. The last 3 groups of surahs, they talk about Risala, Tawheed, Akhirah, Iman. Our belief in the messengerhood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our belief in Allah's oneness, and our belief in the hereafter. So when you look at that, 6 groups of surahs starts with a path, how to tread that path, motivation to remain on the path, and now what is your life all about? It's about believing in the messenger, believing in Allah's oneness, living for the hereafter, and all of that is what you're also inviting to. Yeah? I'm going to now explain this slightly differently again, because it takes time for this to, inshallah, settle in. We go to the next slide on this. 6 groups of surahs now, few pictures, hopefully it'll make it easier. So the way we should try and understand this, if I bring up the names of the groups, and then we do a bit of annotation. Okay, now let's think of the Qur'an, yeah? From beginning to end, in sequence. Qur'an starts by what? We've done this already, we've taken a bit of time on that already, about half an hour. Yeah? Fatiha, guidance. Surah Al-Fatiha is dua for guidance, yeah? How does Allah respond to that guidance? That dua? Think. This is the beginning of the Quran, Surah Al-Fatiha, and then the whole Quran until Surah Al-Nas. We asked for guidance, yeah? How does Allah respond to it? By showing us the way. What's the way? The straight path, which is what? Here. The Quran. See that? We should come to at least one conclusion from that. If I want guidance, I need to follow all the guidance, not bits of it, yeah? Not pick and mix. You know, Woolworths used to have pick and mix. Do they still have pick and mix somewhere now? Woolworths is finished now?
No, we'll cut it.
Oh, we'll cut it, yeah? Alhamdulillah, they still pick and mix. Huh? Yeah. If we want guidance, we will follow the guidance, Google Maps. We won't take out steps and get lost and then come back, yeah? We're going to follow the guidance. Essentially, that means every surah, every ayah of Quran is essential. Clear? Because if we ever, may Allah protect us from that, if we ever come across this notion that I know roughly what the Quran means, it's all good, I'm alright. Sorry, Bismillah. Jazakallah khair. Then we are, without realizing, we are saying, Na'udhu Billah, may Allah protect us, that Allah Ta'ala, He just sent some other stuff just for the sake of it. Astaghfirullah. So, we asked for guidance. Allah Ta'ala gave us the guidance, the whole Quran, as exemplified by who? Prophet ﷺ. Kana khuluquhu al-Qur'an. His lifestyle was Qur'an in action. As if you take Qur'an and you somehow make a person out of it, that's the Prophet ﷺ. Yeah? So, guidance Allah gave us, first group of surahs is the Sharia path. Second is how to follow that Sharia, methodology of the Prophet ﷺ of following that path. Third is how to motivate us to stick to that path. And then believe in messengerhood, believe in Allah's oneness, believe in Akhirah, and call to it as well. Any question? Because I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask you to tell me what I've just been saying. Shall I repeat it? Shall I repeat it? Okay. Usually people pay more attention when we repeat it. Alhamdulillah. That's good. So, and I want you to be able to explain this to somebody next to you in a minute, yeah? In your own words. Quran starts off with us asking for guidance. Allah Ta'ala responds. He shows us the path, Google Maps. He also shows us somebody who we can follow who has trod this path perfectly. He then motivates us because he knows we are lazy. We need motivation. He then elaborates your core belief in Risala, Tawheed, Akhirah. What is it? And how do you invite others to it? Any question? Is that clearer? Hopefully getting clearer, yeah? Can you spend 2 minutes with the person next to you, explaining this to the person next to you? Please. 1 minute each, yeah? I'll give you I'll time you inshallah. 2 minutes. Talk to him. Huh?
That one, the third.
Which one? Yeah, Allah? Motivation. Motivation. Talk to him. Talk to him, not talk to me. Talk to you three. Talk to each other.
First of all, is guidance. So the Prophet is always guidance. After we basically he shows us the way.
You talk to him. Talk to the cameraman.
Firstly, he shows us is the proper Sharia, right? This is the outskirts. Then he shows us the person who can, he shows us the person who can give us that thing, which is the Bible.
1 more minute.
When achieving motivation, which I'm assuming is through stories and then he thinks and do's and don'ts the motivation. And then now there's a message. What is the message? The message is through this. Then what should I do that? And then Tawheed. The reason why the process has been set to keep people away from what they're doing and then establish what Salla and just worship Allah alone.
Half a minute.
And all of that will lead to the Akhirah. That's, I think, what the saying. Do you have anything else to say? It's just, obviously there's a bit you can tell each one. Yeah, so what do you think about the steps? When someone
Hashir, you should talk to this brother. What's your name? Naeem, Hashir. Talk to each other. That is. I need you to keep speaking until... Okay, 10 seconds. I have water. Jazakallah khair. Brilliant, alhamdulillah. So, how did that make you feel? I want to know how you felt when you did this. Any ideas? How did you feel doing this for 2 minutes? No feelings, all robots there.
We need to know more.
Feel like you need to know more, but give us some positive feelings. That is positive as well.
Yeah. It's easier to relate to our life.
Good. Alhamdulillah, I'm happy. Any other feeling?
Of course, the deen makes sense.
Makes sense.
With the steps put in pen and pen.
Alhamdulillah.
a clear structure.
Gives you more structure.
Very simple and straightforward.
Simple, straightforward, not complicated. Deen is not complicated, it's simple. Allah Ta'ala said that. La haraja fid deen. Not difficulty in deen. Alhamdulillah. Alright, any question? Anything you'd like to share that, oh, when we were doing this, I thought of this. Or I had this thought as well. Okay, so we're happy, we're comfortable, yeah? Yeah, go on.
Just a few questions.
Yeah, Bismillah.
It's just clarity around Sharia.
We're coming to that.
And also the Salla. Because after, as you mentioned, the example of the house and what's the distinction between...
It's coming. Good. Alhamdulillah, you're thinking. I'm so happy that you're thinking about these things. It's important. Alhamdulillah. So this is just introduced, hopefully, 6 groups. You have some idea. Quran starts here, goes there, then it gives us this, yeah? We're now going to go into a bit more detail. We will spend the most time on the first group, and then the other groups will take less time. Sharia. We want to talk about the word Sharia. Sharia, what does Sharia mean? Rules.
Everything we need to live, govern, and our lives by this.
Okay, everything we need to live our lives by, govern our lives. What else? What does Sharia mean in linguistically in Arabic? Any ideas? A lot of countries have this way. Good. Shara. Pakistan has Shara Qadi Azam. In Abu Dhabi there was Shara, so many Sharas. Sheikh Zaid. Yeah? Means the main path. Yeah? So Sharia actually means the path to water in Arabic, in a desert. And you can imagine how important that path was. Because if you don't have that path, you're dead. That's how important Sharia is. Yeah? Without this path to life, we are dead. Anyway, Sharia is all of those things that you mentioned and more. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm going to leave that for the full day course. We need to go into a bit more detail for that. But Sharia essentially is all the guidance that Allah has given us. Everything. I introduce Sharia to non-Muslims as follows. Actually, it'd be interesting. How would you introduce the word Sharia to non-Muslims? If they ask you, what's this Sharia? What do you tell them? You don't tell them anything?
I'll say to them is everything that we govern our lives by. It doesn't leave anything out.
Okay.
From the biggest things to the smallest things we're going to talk.
Okay. Sharia is what governs every aspect of our life. It leaves nothing out. Holistic. Good. What else? How would you market this word Sharia?
It's not just about penal codes.
Yeah.
It's not just about punishments. But that's the first misconception.
Yeah.
And that's the first one.
How do you sell it?
Compare their lives. I'll be like, for instance, what do you do around this time? What do you do in certain situations?
So, sorry, let me cut it short. You have only 1 minute to sell Sharia without asking questions. Comprehensive way of life. Not sold to me yet. It's not exciting enough.
It's what governs my worship.
Govern just... I hear the word govern, I think governors.
Even how I eat, how I work, how I interact with friends, everything.
You're not selling it yet.
I say take care of your...
Because I'm doing what you're saying anyway. I don't need what I've got.
I say taking care of your neighbours is part of Sharia.
I'll do that.
Guidance in this
Make
world
your life
and the
easier.
next world.
I don't believe in hereafter.
Make your life easier.
Sharia is the purpose of life.
Making your life easier makes a bit more sense to me.
Structure.
Purpose of life, structure, what else? We need to know how to sell Islam, no? For what it actually is. Sharia is the most... I've forgotten what I was going to say now. Sharia is the most optimum, efficient, earth dynamic way of living for every human Yeah? The optimum. We should believe that. Not just is good. Optimum. Optimum means nothing better. The most earth dynamic. I just made that up. Because it makes sense to me. It's a bit like aerodynamic, yeah? No resistance. Fly high. Earth dynamic. Most efficient, waste-free way of life. This is Sharia. Now, a person might think, you know what, this sounds like something I might want to know about a bit now. Try to always relate what we're saying to what people actually understand in our context. A lot of times we regurgitate translations, associating partners with Allah. What is he talking about? What's all that about? There's some business agreement, partnership agreement. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah? Anyway, so Sharia is that and more. Sharia has 5 aspects which we're going to look at. Actually more. 5 aspects that we're going to look at and more. Let's just list them. The basis of Sharia is Iman. Actually, let me do it the other way around. Basis of our Sharia is reality of existence. I've given away the thing, but anyway. Reality of existence. It means, what is all this about? Who am I? Why am I? Yeah? In one word, this is our Iman. Iman gives you Aman. Aman means what? Safety. What else? What does Aman give you? Peace. Security. Tranquility. Assurity. You know the score. Iman. You know what this creation is, how it got here, why it's here, where I'm going, what am I supposed to do? Satisfaction, yeah? Iman. Then Allah Ta'ala tells us, how do you live this reality? Live in this reality. Islam. Then it gives you vision. We're going to come to that. Let's do a short exercise on vision. Steve Jobs has the vision. What's his vision? To make Apple the best-selling product. Or the best-selling whatever, yeah? What does he need to do? He needs to do 2 things to be successful. What are they? 4 and 5. What are they? To fulfill his vision, to make his vision a reality, what does he need to do? Huh? Set goals. Dedicate himself. What else? What does he need? Research. Focus.
Vision.
Consistency. The vision. He's got the vision.
Think out of the box.
Thinking out the box. What is all this? Yes.
Creativity.
Sister, yeah. Discipline, good. That's the biggest problem we've got nowadays, no discipline. That is the crux. But anyway. He needs to use people and things around him to get to his vision, yeah? What does he need?
Teamwork.
Team. He needs a team. What else does he need? So he's got a team in a room, so what? What else does he need?
Expertise.
He needs expertise. Good. What else does he need?
Funding.
He needs money.
Results.
Before the results. He needs these people to do what? With all this? Huh?
To perform some actions.
Good. They need to do something with this. They need to use their time. All of this, can you summarize this into one word? Him using all of these, I'm not saying it on purpose, it's very obvious. Yeah? Investment. Production. What does he need? He's getting a bit business management type, but anyway. Yeah? Good. Sister said resources. He needs resources. He needs resources. Yeah? You study economics, you'll read about factors of production, etc. Yeah? He needs resource. And then what does he need to do with that resource? What does every organization try to do with its resource?
Execute.
Utilize it most efficiently and effectively. Quran has one word for that. Anybody going to guess? There's a word in Surah Al-Baqarah that summarizes all of that. Let's play hangman, yeah? Might be a bit small here. 5 letters. Have a guess. Come on. You know the alphabet, yeah? We're doing to start with the alphabet. A. E. I. Oh no. You.
Islam.
There can't be any more vowels.
Huh?
Islam.
No. We've done that already.
Iman.
No. Too many guesses there.
Islam.
Huh?
Islam.
No.
Ihsan?
Ijtama.
No.
Ijma.
No. You're nearly hanging. Alright, I'll save you. Infaq. You heard of this word? Anfiqu. Anfiqu. What else does he need to look out for? Apple needs to look out for what? Competition. When you compete against your competition that is against you, trying to take your market share, what's the Arabic word for that? Jihad. Yeah? Yeah? This is summary of Surah Al-Baqarah, these 5. But the most important part, I haven't mentioned it. What is that? We haven't elaborated one of those 5 yet.
Vision.
Vision. What's the vision? You can tell us, what's the vision given to us in the Quran?
You will enter paradise.
That's obvious one, isn't it? What's the vision on this earth Allah gave us that will lead to that? Surah Al-Asr. But what in Surah Al-Baqarah? I'll give you a clue. Too vague. I'll give you a clue. Surah Al-Baqarah. Yeah? How many ayat in Surah Al-Baqarah? 286, yeah? 26, 24?
85.
Ya Allah. Okay. 26, yeah? What's the tipping point, the half point? Okay. Let's look at 143, yeah? Beautiful. 143. Middle of the surah gives you your vision. SubhanAllah, makes so much sense. Yeah, let's look at this. What does it mean? وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. That's what I'm going to read, not the rest for now. Read the meaning. You read it yourself. Just that first sentence, not the whole thing, yeah? First 2.5 lines. Now I'll read it. And thus we have made you, O Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's followers, Muslims, a median or just or balanced community. Why? Now the vision is coming, yeah? That you will be witnesses over the people. And the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will be a witness over you. What does that mean? What does this mean? Who is Allah talking to here? Muslims. Believers in who? Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And now Allah Ta'ala is saying, this is why we made you. This is why we hired you. This is a contract, employment contract. I thereby signed this agreement. My job is Shahada al-Nas. What does that mean? Shuhada al-Nas. What does it mean, witnessing of a mankind? What does that mean? Does that mean you go and watch everybody doing what they're doing? What does it mean? I need you to speak to me. Yeah, but witness for what? Conveying the message, yeah. Exactly, Ahsan. Every messenger was given a message, yeah? Remember we said wahi? Fitrah then wahi, yeah? Guidance. Messenger was given a job, convey the message. Fir'aun, Musa alayhi salam was told, idhab ila Fir'aun. Go to Fir'aun, tell him. Isa alayhi salam was told, tell Bani Israel. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told his people. Lut alayhi salam told his people. Hud alayhi salam, Salih, everybody, yeah? Every messenger was given a job, conveyed the message of guidance to people. The messengers have done their job, yes? They will be asked, Allah will ask Musa alayhi salam, did you go to Fir'aun? He will ask Harun, did you go to Fir'aun? What will they say? They will say, yes, we did what you said, Ya Allah. Allah Ta'ala will say, yes. Because Allah Ta'ala, He knows what they did. He will ask Isa alayhi salam, did you convey the message of La ilaha illallah? Isa alayhi salam will say what? What does he say in Surah Al-Ma'idah? You don't need to know it precisely, but vaguely. Isa alayhi salam will say, of course, yes, you know what I did. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will be asked by Allah Ta'ala, did you convey the message, this Qur'an, and act upon it to show its guidance in practical reality? Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will say, yes, I conveyed the message. At the last khutbah, you know the last khutbah, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said to the people there were roughly 100,000 Muslims. He said, Allah hal ballaght, have I conveyed the message? 3 times. And 3 times they responded, yes, you have conveyed the message, you have given us everything, you have fulfilled the trust upon you, you have clarified, etc., etc. Then what did the Prophet ﷺ say to the Ummah, the people at that time? فَلْيُبَلِّغِ شَاهِدِ الْغَائِبِ. He said, now that you accept that I have conveyed the message to you, it is now your job, who are present here in time and space and place, to now convey it to those who are not present here geographically and in terms of time until the last day. So what's the job of this ummah now? This people, group of people who believe in Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? To convey the message, shahadat al-nas. Is this clear? Now in the full day course we'll explain وَكَذَلِكَ, what does that mean? But this means just like the previous believers, Bani Israel. But anyway, no time for that. So our vision is what? What's our vision? Convey the message. Good. Convey the message. Shahada al-nas. Now when you look at Surah Al-Baqarah now, you hopefully inshallah you realize Allah Ta'ala starts with the Iman. Then He gives in Surah Al-Baqarah in different parts. How do you live this Iman, this reality through Islam? Prayer, fasting, Hajj, Zakat, and other social guidance. Can be financial, can be economic, can be political, can be family, etc. Yeah? Islam. But you as a Muslim community, you have a collective vision. You are organized for a purpose. Yeah? Like every employee in Google, let's say, for example, yeah? I don't know what their vision is, but I'm just making it up, yeah? Is that you will work towards excellence or something like that. You'll give you everything, yeah? The vision of the believers Allah has given, you are going to bear witness on the Day of Judgment that Allah, we as a collective people, conveyed this Qur'an, the message that you sent to us for people's guidance. To do that, Allah Ta'ala then tells us you have to do infaq. You have to utilize all your resources effectively, efficiently for this purpose of conveying the message. And you have competitor, shaitan. He's mentioned at the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah. Your competitor is shaitan. He will try to take your market share. Yeah? So you have to compete against him through jihad. Any question about that? This is clear? Because I'm going to ask you to tell me what this means now. I'm happy to do that. I'm not sure, I'm not getting enough feedback to know either way. Okay, we'll leave it because of time. Inshallah. This is Surat Al-Baqarah. Now, very quickly, Surah Al-Imran and An-Nisa. So Al-Baqarah we mentioned, yeah, the summary, the 5 points, yeah? This is the first group of surahs, group 1. That's why I said group 1 takes long. 5 points we mentioned. What are they? Iman, Islam, vision, infaq. What's the vision? What's the vision? Convey the message. What's the Arabic? If you remember, doesn't matter if you don't. Shada al-nas. What is another word for iman? When you explain iman to non-Muslim, what are you going to say? Don't say faith, don't say belief. Switch it, they switch off. Switch, gone. Reality of existence. Islam is how to live according to that reality. Islam. Vision, infaq. How do you explain infaq very briefly? Resource utilization or efficient use of resource, blah blah blah. And jihad. Good. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, you have understood Surat Al-Baqarah summary. Alhamdulillah. That's how easy Allah made it. Now you have to promise me you will read Surat Al-Baqarah every ayah with meaning in maybe 1 or 2 weeks maximum. It's not that difficult. Wallahi, it's not difficult. When you want to, Allah will make you recite more than that in one day, easy. Just like water flowing. Inshallah. Yeah? Because when you read it with this in mind, these 5, you will see yourself where these 5 are. When you read these 5 yourself, you then will say, all right, yes, he's right. This is correct, yes, this is right. When you see it yourself, you have strong iman. When you have strong iman, you can look eye to eye and say, this is the truth. Because you felt it, you saw it, you know it. May Allah give us that yaqeen, inshallah. Alright, Surah Al-Baqarah gave us the 5 points. Now, Surah Al-Imran leads on from that. Surah Al-Imran. Vision is convey the message, yeah? What do we need an organization to be able to be effective together? Work together. Give me one word for that. Teamwork. Good. Teamwork. Another one word for that. Very, very easy word. Teamwork means they need to be united. Thank you. They need unity. Surah Al-Imran tells us 3 ingredients for unity. You see how the guidance is flowing, subhanallah. What are the three ingredients for unity for this ummah? Do you know what I mean by ummah? What do I mean by ummah?
Nation.
What nation?
Islamic nation.
Yeah, nations who believe in, the nation that believes in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yeah? The other part of the ummah is those who we need to invite to it. Okay? Three ingredients for this ummah organization to be united in mind, in heart, in spirit, in vision, in action. Three ingredients. This is again is middle of Surah Al-Imran. Any guess? First ayah, I'll give it away to you. It's part of the khutbah, Jummah khutbah. First ayah. Huh? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullah. Taqwa. Have taqwa of Allah. What's one word for taqwa in English?
Fear of Allah.
Other than fear? Consciousness, obedience, awareness, yeah? Mindfulness more, leading to righteousness. Taqwa.
God.
Have God consciousness.
God.
Guard yourself, good, linguistically, to guard yourself from Allah's displeasure, yeah? Taqwa. Then Allah Ta'ala says what? In the next ayah, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ حَقَّ تُقَاتِهِ وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. What does it mean?
Hold on to the rope.
Hold on to the rope of Allah. What is the rope of Allah?
Quranic.
Good. Hold fast to the rope of Allah. Yeah? وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبِّ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا, together. وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. What does it mean? وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Don't dare be divided. That's what it means. Huh? It means this. Look carefully, yeah? Do not be divided. Simple. I don't need to write too much now. Huh? Don't you dare be divided, Allah Ta'ala is saying. Why? Because you have a vision, you have an objective, you have a goal, which is more important than your, I don't get on with him, I don't get on with her, I don't like him, I don't like her. Yeah? It's more important. Bury all that rubbish, nonsense, for that bigger picture. I say, and I think Allah knows best if it's correct. I think it is. You know, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law problem is because we don't have vision. We don't know why we get married, by the way. Why we get married? Don't know, I just got married. Why? Everybody gets married. It's half of your deen, isn't it? So what does that mean? So I don't know. Problem, isn't it? The reason why we get married has been given in the vision, Shahadat al-Nas. You have to get together to be a solid structure, department that will do that job. To be united then, taqwa, hold fast to the rope of Allah, meaning understand the Qur'an. So believe in the Qur'an, read it, understand it, try to act upon it as much as you can and convey its message. And then An-Nisa, it then says, you are a community. What's the unit of a community? Where does the community start?
Human being.
So, a bit more than that. Family. Family. Family unit. Allah Ta'ala tells us in Surat An-Nisa, I think is it ayah 43 or 34? It's in the booklet. 34, eh? Ayah 34. The role of the husband, the role of the wife. People are still fighting over what the role is because we don't go to Qur'an for guidance. Remember, brother, sister, remember one thing, yeah? If you're not married as well as if we are married, yeah? When you are married, you are prime suspect for shaitan, prime target. He will do everything he can to destroy family. Everything. You know the hadith. Yeah? That's why it's very important that before we get married, we know why we're getting married. Why we're getting married, Surat Al-Baqarah, you need to understand Ali Imran, An-Nisa, Surah Nur, Surat Al-Ahzab, at least. Bare minimum. So Allah Ta'ala gives us roles of responsibilities of husband and wife. This is an honor. This is an honor. Remember this, yeah? Depends how you look at things. If Allah is telling me this is your role, I give you this role, I should be honored that Allah has chosen me for this role. Yeah? So الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله until the remaining ayah. We should be clear. My role as husband, Allah has given me this role. My role as wife, Allah has given me this role. Then there's no problem. And then Surah Al-Ma'idah, it tells us, you know reality of existence, your iman, you know how to live Islam, you have a vision, shahada ala nas, you have to utilize resource, infaq, you have to stand up against the competition, jihad. You have to be united to taqwa, holding fast to the Qur'an, not being divided. You have a community based on families. You now as a community in Surah Al-Ma'idah establish Sharia. Establish this Sharia. Live according to it. Collectively. Expectation of Allah Ta'ala. So that when you become the example of this, as I said, efficient way of life, optimum way of life, people will see it for what it is and they will be attracted towards it. You will do shahada al-nas by your own example, but collectively. Individual examples have some impact, yes, but collectively when you have a complete society, a community based on Sharia, then you have a real impact. This is group 1. Very briefly. Any question? Are you tired? I think you need a break, huh? Especially brothers sitting down. I'm not used to sitting down that long, I think. On the floor, especially, yes.
Sure. It's the job of Shaitan to divide the division of the Ummah.
Absolutely, to divide.
Allah finally said us to keep
not to be divided. Yes.
His main objection is, his goal is to divide us.
Yes, divide and rule. So that's why I say to the youngsters, don't ever sit in your room with your phone on your own. Because that's divide and rule. Shaitan will come, you easy prey now, you're on your own. If there's someone else in the room, at least you will think 3 times about what I'm looking at. When you're alone, that's it, easy. Discipline. I keep saying that to Brother Adnan. He's teacher, I'm teacher by profession, so Brother Adnan. We did PGC together. So we know what the problem is, lack of discipline in schools, etc. Anyway, is any question about this? Group 1. We take a break, I think. Inshallah. How long would you like? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. So we've just taken the aspect of guidance first. What are the stages of guidance? Remember this circle? Fitrah, Wahi, Tawfiq, Sirat. Excellent. Alhamdulillah. Then we mentioned that Surah Al-Fatiha is the dua for guidance. And I forgot to mention, when we say Ihdina, Ihdina means us. Guide all of us, Ya Allah. You see, Allah Ta'ala is telling us from the beginning of the Qur'an, think about everyone. So much that even in your most intimate conversation with Allah in Salla, in Al-Fatiha, you are not just concerned about yourself. You are concerned about everybody. Ihdina. So Allah Ta'ala responds to that dua of guidance by giving us the guidance, the Qur'an. The whole Qur'an is guidance. Hudal lin-nas. And then we mentioned if we want to have some structure in our mind which helps to study, then we take this structure of 6 grouping of surahs. The first 5 surahs give us the path, Sharia. The second group of surahs gives us the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ. How did he convey the message, the vision? Third group of surahs will give us motivation that you will be successful if you follow this path, despite obstacles and challenges. And then the last 3 groups of surahs will remind us, clarify for us, what does it mean by believing in the messengerhood? What is the evidence that he is a messenger? What is the evidence that there should only be one Allah? What is the evidence that there is a hereafter? And how do you call others to believe in this Risala, Tawheed, Akhirah? So essentially the whole Qur'an is about seeking guidance. And I'm going to say something, you need to pay attention to this here. Our guidance is dependent on our effort to try to guide others. Does that make sense? Let me explain in a different way. If we want guidance, we must try to guide others. There is no such concept, I'm guided, I don't need to tell anybody anything. You are the most misguided if you think like that. This is the mindset of the atheists today, majority. I'm a good person, I don't harm anybody, I don't need anybody's guidance. I'm self-sufficient in guidance. Yeah? So our guidance is dependent on our efforts to try to guide others. And this is the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Holistically, he spent his whole 23 years in an effort, infaq and jihad, to try and convey the message to guide others. This is guidance. To think that I pray, I fast, I give zakat, I've done hajj, I'm guided. No. This is pick and mix. There's no pick and mix in Islam. Pick and choose. Udkhulu fi silmi kaffa. أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض. You pick some, you don't pick the others. خزي في الحياة الدنيا. You'll be humiliated in this earth, in this life. وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ. And then Allah Ta'ala will punish you because you were meant to guide others, you didn't even guide yourself. Now what do you deserve? So there's a sense of responsibility. So the second group now we're going to start looking at is methodology of the Prophet ﷺ. What did he do to convey the message? What did the Prophet ﷺ do to make sure that he has done shahada ala nas, that he has conveyed the message, and that he can then stand on the day of judgment to say, Allah, I conveyed the message, I can bear witness as you witnessed me, I conveyed the complete message thoroughly, completely, absolutely, without any need of any further elaboration, etc. Happy now? Group 2 is all about how did the Prophet ﷺ do it. So I'll summarize that for you now. Group 2. MashaAllah, this is one I made earlier. Group 2. What's group 2? Methodology of what? Baking a cake? Huh?
What are the Sharia?
Following the Sharia, what else? Conveying the message. I need some key terms now. Shahada al-nas means what? Witnessing unto mankind that we've conveyed the message. Yeah? Good. You know, that's why we go to work. That's why we go to work. Because when we go to work, we are doing infaq. We are utilizing resource, ability, time, gaining resource, money, which we then employ, deploy, invest in our sustenance to be able to live, to be able to convey the message. Islam is so beautiful, subhanAllah. Allah is so gracious, merciful. Everything makes sense. Your job has a purpose. The job is not the purpose. The profession is not the end goal. The profession is a means to be able to have the infaq, ability, resource to be able to convey the message. This is why you go to school, college, uni. This is why you get married. This is why you have children. More children, you have more resource. Isn't it? Invest that resource in Shahada al-Nas. All makes sense. This is guidance from Allah. So group 2 is the method of the Prophet ﷺ. How did he, what did he do to convey the message? Yeah? Before we do that, you know that every messenger, you know the stories. There are some parallels with every messenger's life. There is a period of time when the messenger gives the message, yeah? Opposition, allegations, questions, etc., etc. Then a time comes when what happens? What happened with Musa alayhi salam? He conveyed his message for many years to Musa and to Fir'aun and Ali Fir'aun. Then what happened eventually? Before the adhab, before the punishment, Fir'aun was drowned. But what happened before that? The border. Sister saying something? What did Allah Ta'ala say to Bani Israel, Musa and Bani Israel, just before the drowning? What did he say? They were in Egypt. Do what? Move. Hijrah. Yeah? Lut alayhi salam, what did Allah say to Lut? Leave in the night. Hijrah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 13 years in Makkah, then what happened? Hijrah. So we need to now think. Let me show you this, might help you inshallah. Prophetic timeline. Seerah timeline. 13 years in Makkah, the Prophet ﷺ conveying the message, yeah? I'm not going to go through it because of time, but I'll send the link, I'll send the PDF to, I don't know who to send it to, but I'll send it to someone, yeah? Who can send it to the rest. Yeah? Makkah, 13th year, Hijrah. Prophet ﷺ had given his message to the people of Makkah now. 13 years. You know the Qur'an is divided roughly in two parts. Makki Qur'an, Madani Qur'an. Yeah? Qur'an that was revealed in Makkah, Qur'an that was revealed in Medina. How much of it is revealed in Makkah as a percentage, roughly? Less. Less. Roughly 60-65%. Roughly 2/3 of Quran was revealed in Makkah. Inviting people to believe in Allah, His oneness. Believe in Muhammad ﷺ as the messenger. Believe in the Akhirah. live according to this reality. Yeah? Once the Prophet ﷺ had conveyed his message, Shahadat al-Nas, to his specific audience, the Quraysh, specific audience, now came a time where everybody, his specific audience, understood the message clearly, understood the consequence clearly of accepting or rejecting. And now there was no doubt, no question, nothing left. Every stone was turned. But how did the Prophet ﷺ know that that's happened? Imagine you live in Goodmayes, yeah? How will we know every person in Goodmayes has been given the message? How? No, but how do you know everybody's received the message and understood it and you've done your job basically? Yeah, you need some sort of information. We could do an online survey, for example, nowadays. And if everybody ticks yes, that means we've done it, yeah? Prophet ﷺ didn't know that himself. Who told him? Huh? I can't hear you. Yes, who told Prophet ﷺ? Allah Ta'ala. Wahi, yeah. Then Allah Ta'ala said Hijrah. This process of conveying the message clearly, mubin, thoroughly, again and again from different angles, different aspects, an ongoing discussion, interaction, questioning, answering, satisfying your customer, your client, until there is nothing left. This is the process, yeah? You come to tipping point. You know, the glass is full. Now you can't put anything more. It's done. This is called Itmam of Al-Hujjah. I'll write it. Itmam. Itmam means complete. Itmam of the evidence, the discussion, the proofs, reminders, etc., etc., etc. Now there is nothing left. Is this making sense? This is the sunnah of Allah for every messenger. Any question at this point? Don't worry, we'll find your dad, not you. Good. Any question about this Itmam al-Hujjah? We clear about this process? Can somebody elaborate? What does this mean to them? Because this is what we need to do. We haven't got there yet. You step ahead of me. It's good, mashallah. What does it mean, Itmam al-Hujjah? Good. Complete the evidence. Give the message completely. Not just you meet somebody for the first time, you say, become Muslim because 1, 2, 3, if you don't, you're going to go to hell. I've done my job. That's not dawah, is it? Some people think that's dawah. That's a tragedy. Itmam al-Hujjah is use all resource to the best of your ability, complete the job. Prophet ﷺ did 3 things to do Itmam al-Hujjah. Collectively, want to say something? Okay. Collectively, it is to remind people, tadhkir, dhikr. Remind people. Because, why do we call it remind? Why not inform? Because it's in our fitrah. Beautiful. It's already there. But it's covered up. You need to remove the covers. You know, a bit rusty, you need to take off the rust. The Prophet ﷺ reminded people of broadly three things. Is it making sense? Any question, anything not clear, just say. Happy, yeah? Comfortable. Reminded people of signs, ayat, in yourself. Anfus. Look at yourself. Look at your fitrah. Look at this morality inside you. Look at gratitude, instinct of gratitude. Look at instinct of need. You ask for help in need. Think about this signs, fitrah. Signs. What's the next sign you think? English? You're right.
Creation.
Signs in creation, good. Afaqi. Signs in creation around you. Afaq, meaning the horizons. Makhluqat, yeah. Kauniya, ayat kauniya. Look at the signs in creation. Look at design in nature. Look at design in creation. Look at the purposeful creation of everything. Go to the park. Find a nice garden, not just a park. And look at the flowers. It's amazing. Look at the color of the flower. And the contrast between the color of the flower and the leaves and the buds and every part of the flower. And you'll say, Subhanallah. How pleasing is that? Look at the trees. Look at the branches. Look at the stem, the branches, the leaves. And how they form them as a whole, how it forms a pleasing structure, how it forms a pleasing structure by just looking at each individual leaf. Look at that creation. Look at the solar system. Look at the balance on earth. You are born, you need oxygen, yeah? Oxygen is there. You need water, is there. You need milk, is there. It's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? You need minerals to keep yourself healthy. Minerals are scattered on the earth. You are one and the same. You see that? You need the sun for life. The sun is at the perfect distance from the earth. Observe all this. This should, I don't know if incite is the right word, but this should excite or what? Instigate, ignite, rejuvenate this instinct of gratitude, shukr. You now need to channel that shukr properly. Sharia is all about channeling instincts in the perfect way. Not just maybe, no. Absolutely. You have the instinct of eating and drinking. Allah Ta'ala says halal, good for you, haram, harmful. Halal is healthy, haram, harmful. Simple. You have the instinct of reproduction, sexual urge, nikah. Simple. You have the urge to earn halal. Own halal. Balance. Allah gives the balance. So the Prophet ﷺ is telling people, look at creation around you. Look at the sun, look at the stars, look at the moon, look at blah 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 blah. You know it all in the Qur'an. And then you decide. Dawah is about getting the person to think and decide for himself. Don't force your opinion, yeah? This is not dawah. You're not empowering the person. You're dictating. People don't like that. It's not very effective. Third, signs in what? History, good. Look at history. Look at the previous nations who denied this message, who denied the message of Allah. What happened to them? Destroyed. We can see their ruins today. We can see Fir'aun. We can see the archaeological findings of previous nations, Sodom and Gomorrah, etc., etc. There's so much. Yeah? There is a constant, or consistent rather, trend. Throughout history, there's a trend. Messenger came with evidence. People who rejected, destroyed. People who accepted, saved. Again and again and again and again and again. This is the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ of doing Itimam al-Hujjah, to try and guide people, to try and help people to be able to channel their instincts in the best possible manner. A human being, for a human being as an individual or as a society or as a global entity, for it to be able to flourish and reach its complete potential, Allah Ta'ala sent Sharia. I'll give you a hardware software example, yeah? Some people like it, some people think, what's he talking about? Hardware, computer hardware. Your hard drive, your CPU, your processor, etc. Yeah? For your computer to work at its best, you need the best software, program. Yeah, what phone do you have? You don't have a phone? MashaAllah, I have to take a picture of you. You are unique. Alhamdulillah. May Allah make me like you. Ameen. Brother, what software do you have on your phone? iPhone. What thing do you have? OS on it? OS? iOS? What other phones are there? There's Samsung? What does that have? Android. Now if you try to put iOS on an Android phone, what happens? Won't work. Incompatible. Yeah? Allah Ta'ala created us. He sent Qur'an as the operating system. Fully compatible. So we can never ever actually make real progress as a human community if we don't follow Sharia. This is how you sell Sharia. I'm not just saying it, we need to mean it because it's the truth. We think we have made so much advancements in technology, in knowledge. We are actually light years behind because we didn't follow the Sharia. Shaitan says you follow Sharia, you go back in time. No. You follow Sharia, you go light years ahead. Why? Because you are able to focus all human endeavors properly, precisely, accurately. No waste of resource. We as a human race, we are wasting resource. Every university, they have many, many centers of research, social sciences. What are you trying to find out? You're trying to find out what's the best way of living, isn't it? Allah Ta'ala told us that. You're wasting your time. That's the truth. You're wasting. This is dhalal. This is shaitan's misguidance. But me and you, let me be honest, we will never be able to tell this to somebody until we actually have read and understood this from the Qur'an. Then you'll be convinced. So the da'i, the person who gives Islam, must also try to be convinced him or herself through Qur'an. Okay, any question on this Itimam al-Hujjah?
What's the literal meaning of
Itimam al-Hujjah means you have a glass of water, you fill it to the top. Itimam. Every evidence, everything has been explained again and again and again and again and again and again and again until the person, the recipients, the audience, all of them understood all of it completely, no shadow of a doubt left. This is Itimam al-Hujjah. Any question? Anything not clear? You want to add anything? Suggest anything? So this gives us methodology, yeah? When you have a dawah conversation, These are the three things you talk about. Simple. Signs inside, signs outside, signs throughout history. Food for thought. Let the person decide. Let the person think. Our job is try to interact and engage the person in conversation and thinking, and really being able to say, do I agree or not, and why I agree or not. Yeah? Okay. If we're happy with that, then let's look at this briefly again. So we ask for guidance. Allah gives us Sharia path. What are the aspects of the first group? Baqarah is 5 aspects in Surah Baqarah. What are they? Iman. Islam. What's the vision? Convey the message. Shahada al-nas. Infaq, which means good. 5. Jihad. In Surah An-Nisa, Surah Al-Imran, to be united we need 3 things. What are they? Not to be divided is number 3. Taqwa number 1. Hold fast to the Qur'an, which means, of course, the Prophet ﷺ as well. It includes. Surah An-Nisa talks about what? Family. What about it? Roles and responsibilities of husband and wife given by Allah. Remember that, yeah? When we remember that, there's no argument. When we don't remember that, there's argument. You see that? It is an honor that Allah has given the man and the woman. The roles. Allah has given the role. Allah. And then we said, what else in Surat Al-Ma'idah then? Establish this Sharia in your lives collectively. Establish this in your life to be a role model for humanity. Establish justice, equity. Sharia gives everything its right. First and foremost, Allah's right. First and foremost, give Allah His right. Once you give Allah His right, everything else will be given its right. You deny Allah, you deny everybody's rights. Fasad. Okay. And then methodology, what was methodology of the Prophet ﷺ of conveying the message and doing Shahada al-Nas? What is it? You can look at your notes, no problem. It's not a test. Itmam al-Hujjah, what does it mean?
Complete message. Reminding the people. That's 3 major things.
Good. So complete the message, complete giving it by reminding them of 3 things. What are they? 3 signs in inside, outside, and history. Signs inside, signs outside, signs throughout history. We now need motivation to get up and do something, don't we? Isn't it? You know where when you start working somewhere, you go on team building exercises. Organizations spend a lot of money on that, team building. Motivation. Because they know it's worth it. And they will tell you about motivation, intrinsic, extrinsic. I can't remember, I've studied it a long time ago. Motivation. It's one like this management theory. Vision of an organization, yeah? Then methodology of the organization, and now motivation for the organization to be able to excel. To understand motivation, we need to understand 2 key terms of the Qur'an. Group 3. We need motivation because we have opposition. What is our opposition? Shaitan. Iblis. Yeah? We need to understand 2 key terms of the Quran. Haqq versus Batil. Why did I draw it like that? It's wrong. Shaky. Crooked.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't really exist.
And it doesn't stand up to the haqq.
Good. Can't stand up in a fight against the haqq. I can't hear you.
Yes, you're on the wrong path.
And it leads you to the wrong path, yeah. Haqq. What does haqq mean? What does haqq mean? Truth. What else? Fact. Right. What else? What is reality? Evidence based. This table has got 4 legs. Yeah? It is sturdy. If it had 3, would it stand? Probably not, yeah, for long. False. Haqq is fact. Established fact. Has evidence. Batil is fiction. Spider-Man. Sorry, yeah? If I broke your heart today. No, Spider-Man's real. Huh? Batman, Superman, Avengers. It's interesting, the word Avengers, you know that? You should look it up in the dictionary. Not Revengers, Avengers. Look it up in the dictionary. Anyway. Haqq is true, has a basis, has a rational basis, has a moral basis, has stood the test of time, and is right. It is just. Batil is the opposite. Batil is not based on fact. It has not stood the test of time. It doesn't have a moral ground. It doesn't have a rational ground. It is fleeting. It's another word for fleeting.
Scurry.
Huh?
Scurry.
Scurry. I'm not sure what that means. Comes and goes with time. Today is this, a bit like fashion. You know fashion?
Trendy.
Huh? Trends. Come and go. I don't know what's the trend nowadays. MashaAllah, everybody's wearing thobe. There's no trend here. Huh? Or haircuts. The haircuts, yeah? Vans. You know Vans? Alhamdulillah, you don't know anything. That's good. Trends come and go. Yeah? When we were young, there were bell bottoms, flares. Yeah? Then it became skin tight jeans. Now I think we've gone back to skin tight jeans or something like that. Yeah? Come and go. Batil. Shaitan gives a nice word to this. Says you're progressive. You're enlightened. You're not old fashioned. You're very, very developing. Haqq is Allah, first and foremost. Allah is Haqq. The reality. Rationally, instinctively, observationally. And then by sending Qur'an and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Haqq. Qur'an is Haqq. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is Haqq. Death is Haqq. Reality. Resurrection is Haqq. Jannah is Haqq, Jahannam is Haqq. Whatever shaitan promises is batil. We will look at an ayah in a minute. Shaitan's last khutbah. You heard of the Prophet's last sermon? Shaitan also has a last sermon that he will deliver. We'll go through that. So fact versus fiction, yeah? Let's have a look at this group in a bit of detail. Any question at this point? Anything you want to add? Anything you'd like to suggest? Please feel free. Okay, we'll go back to it. Haqq versus Batil. So the group heading is Glad Tidings of the Domination of Haqq over Batil. That if you stick to the straight path, you will win. But you have to make jihad. You have to try to stick to the Haqq, and the Batil will come against you, but you will win. Eventually, motivation. I mentioned Allah is Haqq, yeah? Qur'an is haqq, meaning there is a basis for us to believe that this is the Qur'an, this is Allah's revelation. There are 8 categories, I can't go through it now, yeah? This is the minimum, 8 categories that when you talk to somebody about Qur'an, you can tell them, think about Qur'an is the truth because 8, yeah? One of them, most apparent, obvious, is it has been preserved. Al-Qur'an has been preserved. Allah Ta'ala says, Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Indeed, we revealed this Qur'an and we are protecting it. That is fi lawhil mahfuz, yeah? But on the earth, Allah Ta'ala protected it in the memory. First of the Prophet ﷺ and then Ashab al-Nabi ﷺ. And it was preserved in writing. And since then, until today, until the last day, it will be preserved in text and memory and in action. And its explanation Allah Ta'ala has also given. Surah Nahl, ayah 44. We sent this dhikr لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ. We sent this to you, O Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this Qur'an, so that you will now explain, elaborate, so that they would think about it, meaning benefit. Allah has preserved the Qur'an. The Qur'an is challenge. What's the Qur'an's challenge? فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ. In the beginning of the Qur'an, Allah Ta'ala said, La rayba fi, number 1, yeah? No doubt in this book. In fact, any doubts you have, Qur'an removes doubts. So if anybody had any doubts about anything, about reality, Qur'an is the remover of doubts. Then Allah Ta'ala says, tell them, if they say this is from other than Allah, bring a surah, bring a Qur'an. Then Allah Ta'ala says, وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا. If they can't, then Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا. You will never be able to. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارِ. Fear the hellfire. Challenge, bring a surah, 10 surahs, a Qur'an like it. Yeah? So this is Qur'an is haqq. Deeds can be haqq or batil. Actions that we do, a'mal. A'mal is salihah, a'mal batila. Any action for it to be accepted by Allah has to be for Allah and the way Allah wants it. Happy? Allah wants us to pray 5 times. How to pray, He told us, follow the Prophet ﷺ. You can't pray 6 and say there are 6, no, there are 5. You can't pray 4 rak'ah for Fajr. You have to pray 2. You can't do ruku before sajda, you can't do salam before ruku. Yeah? So Allah Ta'ala is telling us, for actions to be accepted, you have to do them for Allah, believing in Allah and the hereafter, and do them the way Allah wants them to be done. And then Allah Ta'ala, He emphasizes that haqq always wins over batil. But there is a due process. There is a struggle. The Prophet ﷺ took 13 years of this struggle before he did hijrah. Then he did a struggle for the next 9-10 years until the deen was dominant. لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. 23 years. In a nutshell, Allah Ta'ala showed us in 23 years, this is guidance. Haqq and batil, they will clash, but this is the methodology of victory. So, haqq always prevails. Let's look at the shaitan's khutbah now, yeah? Shaitan is guiding us, subhanallah, in the Qur'an. Interesting, isn't it? That's why he doesn't want us to read Qur'an. Do this little experiment when you get home today, yeah? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself that I will read more Qur'an than I usually do today. And then see how shaitan attacks you. Straight away. What's wrong with you? Why are you going to spend that much time? Your family needs you. You need to get some eggs. You need to get some bread. You need to get milk. You need to text this person. You need to pay this. You need to clean the car. You need to. Isn't it? You're becoming extremist. Too much Quran. Shaitan will come from all angles. Because shaitan, he knows the reality. And he has said this in the Quran. We read this, inshallah. وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرِ. Now let's set the scene. The people of Jannah have been decided. May Allah make us from them, Ameen. People of Jahannam have been decided. May Allah save us from that. Ameen. Shaitan now stands, he gives khutbah. Decision has been made. He says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَعْدَكُمْ وَعْدَ الْحَقِّ. Indeed, Allah promised you. His promise is true. What did Allah promise? There will be consequence for your action. He said in Surat Al-Baqarah in the beginning, فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُم مِّنِّي هُدًى فَمَن تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. When my guidance comes, whoever follows it, no grief, no sorrow, happy. You didn't follow it, you're not happy. Shaitan says, Allah Ta'ala says, he says is haqq. وَوَعَدْتُكُمْ. But I also promised you false promises. Gharur. فَأَخْلَفْتُكُمْ. But I betray you. Who is saying this? Where is he saying this? Where are we reading it? Quran. Subhanallah lazim. And then he says, وَمَا كَانَ لِيَ عَلَيْكُم مِّن سُلْطَانٍ. I didn't have authority over you. I couldn't force you. I couldn't grab you. إِلَّا, except what I did. أَن دَعَوْتُكُمْ. I invited you. I whispered. I incited. I put the seed in your mind. فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي. You accepted my invitation. Thank you. Very good. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي. Don't blame me today. Lumu anfusakum. Blame yourselves. You know, like the friends, they say, you idiot. Don't blame me. You did it. Ma ana bimusrikhikum wa ma antum bimusrikhi. Either I scream, shout, you scream or shout. We can't help each other today. There's no help. Now he adds insult to injury. Yeah? He's saying, all that you did, you followed me, yeah? You would expect me to say thank you at least, isn't it? Gang leader should at least say to his gang, his posse, well done for selling the drugs for me. Look at what shaitan says. إِنِّي كَفَرْتُ بِمَا أَشْرَكْتُمُونِ مِنْ قَبْلِ. You associated partners with Allah's right of obedience. You obeyed me instead. You did shirk. You did it for me, I don't accept it. What a big loss. إِنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Allah Ta'ala is saying, for the people who do zulm, who don't give the right due to Allah as He should be given the right, for them there is a very painful punishment. Painful. May Allah protect us. So shaitan is saying, Allah, He is haqq, I am batil. Don't follow me, follow Allah. Allah Ta'ala then gives examples. I'm conscious of time, so I won't go into it, but you have to read the ayat later, inshallah. Allah Ta'ala says in the surahs Ra'ad and Ibrahim, in Ra'ad, the example of haqq, water, torrential rain coming from the sky, it comes into the valleys, narrow valleys. Torrential rain travels at a high speed. When it travels, it causes foam, white foam. You know, if you go to the seaside, when the tide is coming in, you will find the tides coming in at fast pace. You see foam on top. Allah Ta'ala says the foam, what happens to it eventually? Vanishes. This is batil. Batil is the foam. seems overwhelming, seems it covers everything, but its life, its shelf life is very, very short. In the bigger scheme of things. Another example, Allah Ta'ala says, gold and silver ore, awari. When you extract minerals of gold and silver, they are in a mixed state with other impurities, yeah? You have to send them through the fire, furnace, kiln, to remove those impurities. When those impurities are removed, there is a foam that comes on top of the ore. When the ore vanishes, what remains? Pure gold, pure silver. Haqq. Haqq will always remain. Batil will always vanish. You know, they talk about values. Remember one thing, yeah? Value is a value that never changes, keeps its value. A value is not a value if it keeps changing. It's a contradiction. You see that? It has no value because it keeps changing. Imagine if the gold kept changing, no value. If gold was worthless, what value is it? Nothing now. Today it was, tomorrow it is not. So values can only be those things that are constant. They never lose their value. And Allah Ta'ala He says that slowly you see the influence of Islam, the Qur'an, Iman increasing, and you see the influence of the Quraysh and Batil diminishing, slowly but surely. Yeah? If you took a, what they call they make videos of time lapse. If you could make a time lapse video of 23 years of the Prophet's life, and Quraysh, Google Maps, Google Earth, you would see the influence of Quraysh was reduced, the influence of the Prophet was increased. Haqq spreads, batil vanishes. But it takes time. It was fast forwarded in 23 years. Now it will take more than that. Motivation, yeah? That's motivation. No matter how overwhelming batil seems, it is very short-lived. Batil will go, haqq will remain. And then to finish this group, we should now hopefully have an urge that I want to be on the haqq. How do I know I'm the haqq? How do we know we are on the haqq as a community? Allah Ta'ala gave us a checklist. First 9 ayat of Surat Al-Mu'minun is the individual checklist. This is a checklist. This is not the only, but simple. If I want to be on the haqq, I need to fulfill this checklist. Surat Al-Mu'minun, 9 ayat. The summary is as-salat. The crux of it is as-salat. And collectively, if we want to know if we as a Muslim community, we are on the haqq, or any community for that matter, any society, you have social indicators. You have poverty indicator, you have GDP, blah blah blah, yeah? Health indicators. If we had a haqq indicator, what would it be? It would be Surah Nur. The higher we are on the Surah Nur scale, the closer to haqq we are. The lower we are on Surah Nur scale, the further away from haqq and the closer to batil we are. And what's the crux of Surah Nur? Any idea? Sisters, any idea? Is the protection of women. Protection of the woman. And eradicating zina. Punishment for zina. The etiquette of entering homes. The etiquette of gatherings. Collectively, if we follow Surah Nur, then we are on the haqq. Dress sense. We dress because we should have the attitude of being socially responsible. citizenship, socially responsible dress, code given in Surah Nur and Surah Al-Ahzab, men and women. Yeah. Anyway, any question? Are you motivated? Alhamdulillah.
I might be stepping back a little bit.
So good.
But in regards to the vision, like, can we say that's like an overall vision? You may have that specific vision that kind of leads
Good, excellent.
to that. Because I think sometimes
Absolutely.
language could mean like, it could be very isolated.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very comprehensive vision.
Yeah.
Anything that leads to it is part of it. So it doesn't mean everybody stop doing what they're doing and just open up a dawah stall. It doesn't mean that. You see that? That's the problem. It's comprehensive vision.
And also, I was hearing like other Mashayikh using language in terms of like being service to people.
Yeah.
Linking that.
Of course, this is
as a vision. That
the
is-
greatest service to people is to try and guide them. Greatest. And anything that leads to that. So if you do charity work, the end vision is hope for the hidayah. Charity work can be to help a community stand up on its feet, to be able to be strong enough, etc., etc. So you have to tie it all together. Wallahu alam. Okay, we're now going to look at three groups. Any question? Anything? Are we happy? Okay.
Just to follow up on the, it says not to stop doing what you're doing and open up a dawah store.
No, what I meant is that don't think that this is the only thing that we can do.
I understand that. But
Find your
what should an individual do?
find your
How do
strengths.
you know if you're doing dawah?
We can talk about that. We can talk about that. Inshallah. We'll talk about that, inshallah. Okay. It's good because these are the questions we should be asking, to be honest. What do I do now? That's what we should be asking, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to take these three groups collectively because of time. These three groups collectively are Iman, essentially. Iman in Risala, Iman in Tawheed, and Iman in Akhirah. These three groups, if you subgroup them, you'll find two strands. One strand that goes throughout three of them is what are the evidences and proofs that you will put forward to people that they should believe in the Risala of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that they should believe in only Allah's oneness, that they should believe in the hereafter. Essentially, how are you going to invite them to believe in these three things? Yeah. Clear? Any question? The other strand addresses me and you who believe in this already. If you believe in this, what is expected of you? So if you look at the handout, it says there, if you look at the three bottom ones, Risala, Tawheed, Messengers, Akhirah, evidences for Risala, evidence for Tawheed, evidence for Akhirah, and then expectation. If you believe in Risala, what's expected? If you believe in Tawheed, what's expected? If you believe in Akhirah, what is expected of you now? So this is, I think, Wallahu Alam, it seems that the best way to remain steadfast on Iman is to call to it. Yeah? The best way to keep Iman, strengthen Iman, increase in Iman is to always be trying to call to Iman. The best defense is offense, they say. Yeah? So if we keep doing that, this is the methodology. So, any question? Happy so far? Yeah, go on.
Why not acting on it? If that makes sense.
So the expectation is that you act on it.
Okay.
Yeah? So the expectation is that if you believe in this, now you have to act upon it. I'm going to go through the expectations, inshallah. Yeah? Evidences, I won't go through too much, because evidence is sort of, we've outlined in the second group. Remind people of signs inside, signs outside, signs throughout history. The biggest evidence of the Prophet ﷺ being messenger is what? Qur'an. There are 8 subcategories, I can't go through it now. Yeah? One of them is its preservation, etc. Yeah? Good. Evidence that there is only one Allah. There are ayat inside us, Fitrah we mentioned. And then there's the creation, interdependency. Everything has a stamp of the Creator on it. Because the nature of things, so similar. And the Akhirah. Evidence for the Akhirah is the internal evidence is Nafsil Lawwama from Surat Al-Qiyamah. Nafsil Lawwama is the part of our nafs, our soul, if you like, that is very sensitive. When we do bad, it blames us, our conscience. Our conscience blames us when we do something bad, because this is an indication that there will be an outcome of this, a result. When we do something good, we feel good, because we know instinctively there should be a good outcome for this. Morality, yeah? This is proof that there must be a judgment, an akhirah. Other evidence external is look at cycles of life. Look at, yesterday we were doing in Surah Fatir, Allah Ta'ala sends the winds, they prop up the clouds send rain to a place where it's dead, and life starts again. كَذَلِكَ النُّشُورُ. Allah Ta'ala said, this is how we will resurrect you. Just like that. Look at your own creation in stages. Soil, turab. That's Adam alayhi salam, yeah? But after Adam and Hawa, every human being, different stages. Nutfa, sperm. Now what's next? Alaqa. Alaqa is a clinging, hanging clot of blood. Mudgha, chewed-like substance. Then bones, idham. Then on top of the bones, flesh, laham. Yeah? Look at your creation in stages. Surat Al-Qiyamah says, the one who created you, he can't create you again? أَلَيْسَ ذَلِكَ بِقَادِرٍ عَلَىٰ أَن يُحْيِيَ الْمَوْتَ بَلَى. The one who did this, he can't create you again? Of course he can. But you love the dunya too much. You want instant. I want it now. Can't wait. This is the weakness. So these are very quickly the evidences. I want to emphasize more the expectations. Yeah? Because now we need to mean business now. Yeah? Now is the time. Now is the last half hour, inshallah, is business. Alhamdulillah. I'm not saying it wasn't business before, but this is the real thing now. Yeah? Inshallah. What does Allah Ta'ala expect from us as the ummah of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam? If we really believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, this is what is expected. Surat Al-Furqan, ayah 30. Surat Al-Furqan, ayah 30. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال الرسول يا ربي إن قوم اتخذوا هذا القرآن مهجورا. The Prophet ﷺ, he said this in his life regarding his specific audience, and he will say this on the Day of Judgment regarding his general audience, which is the whole of mankind. And the Messenger has said, as I said, and he will say, "O my Lord, indeed my people have taken this Qur'an as a thing abandoned." Mahjura, hijrah. You do hijrah from a place that you don't like to a place that you like, isn't it? Attitude. Allah Ta'ala's Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he has a complaint against his ummah. May Allah not make us from those people that he complains against. That these people abandon the Qur'an. There are 5 levels of abandoning the Qur'an. Not to believe in it is the first abandonment of the Qur'an. Second You believe it, but you never read it. Believe it, read it, never try to understand it. This is where we are guilty as an ummah. Believe it, read it, understand it, don't act upon it. What's the fifth one, you know? You do not call to its message. You don't convey its message. Prophet ﷺ will have a case against us where Allah protect us from that. If we are not trying to do all five. Trying is the key word, yeah? We believe in it to be Kalamullah, guidance from Allah. We are trying to read it as it should be read. We are trying to understand it. We are making it our life's priority. Now we're getting to the crux. My priority, your priority in life has to be to understand Qur'an. Priority number one. Then to try act upon it as much as we can. As humans, we have different capacity, yeah? We do what we can. And we do our best to try and convey its message the best we can. We live for this. We eat for this. We drink for this. We have kids for this. We get married for this. We go to work for this. Everything we do for this. Then inshallah ta'ala, the Prophet ﷺ would welcome us on the Hawd al-Kawthar. In the hereafter, we will be the ummah He is happy with. And Allah is pleased with before that. Rights of the Qur'an. So if we believe in Muhammad ﷺ, this is the expectation. And on a personal level, to love Prophet ﷺ more than anything. This is Surat Al-Ahzab. To obey him. To carry out his mission. What is his mission? His vision. Convey the message. Establish justice. I didn't have time. You know what Tawheed is? Tawheed is establishing Allah's right. That only He has. And living a whole life trying to establish Allah's right. Giving Allah His due right. We hear a lot about human rights. You see the problem? But you don't see a rally or a march about Allah's rights. Do you see that? This shaitan here, playing games. He has made the human Allah. أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَى. Desire has become Allah. No, Allah has the right. This is Tawheed. Tawheed is a lifelong challenge, a lifelong endeavor to try and keep Allah at the top of everything, 24/7. This is Tawheed. Not just dogma, yeah? It is action. So we must convey, we must understand, we must act, and we must convey the message as much as we can. And if we die doing that, alhamdulillah, we're happy. And if we neglect it, then we have to face the music. Simple as that. Okay. These are the, and we should send salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever we hear his name, Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabiyya alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Yeah? Okay. Expectations if we believe in Allah's oneness. I take just one ayah of Surah Hujurat. If we really think and believe that Allah, He is number one, highest priority, we love Him the most, we obey Him the most, then collectively, first surah of Surat Al-Hujurat, first ayah. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, La tuqaddimu bayna yadi Allahi wa rasulihi. Do not step forward in front of Allah and His Messenger. Meaning, do not take any step in life unless and until you consult Allah and His Messenger first in every matter, whether it is personal, family, communal, global, social, economic, political, you name it. This is the expectation of the collective believers. You must live a life which reflects Allah's right. Allah has the right. When you don't give Allah His right, what do? If I don't give you your right, what am I doing? Huh? Zulm. Injustice. I take your pen. What are you going to say? Give my pen back. Oppression. Zulm. To not give things their due right. Zulm. Allah has the right to be acknowledged as the creator, sustainer, owner, legislator, soul, supreme power, worthy of all our love, our devotion and obedience. If we take some of that away, give it to something or somebody or my own desire, I'm not giving Allah His right. You see this? Allah Ta'ala mentioned, Inna shirka la dhulmun azim. So we as a collective ummah, we have to work towards establishing justice on earth. Justice on earth is when you live according to Allah's Sharia, the best guidance, the best way of life for every creation, not just humans. We have a global warming problem. Because of us, the humans, because we didn't follow Sharia. Any problem you see we have collectively, it is because we didn't follow Allah's guidance. We neglected it. We thought we know better. I know better, I don't need guidance. I know, I'm clever. We are clever enough. There's 20 of us, we'll vote on it. You see this? So we have to give Allah His due right in every aspect of life. This is expected of the believers, to work towards this, to be living this. When we say Allahu Akbar, this is what it means. We want to make Allah the best in everything, highest in everything. لِكَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْأُلْيَةِ. This is the objective. To establish justice. If there is no justice, there is fasad. Chaos. Yeah? And finally, expectation from us if we believe in the akhirah. We have a bit of time, let's go through the stages of the akhirah first, yeah? Stages of the akhirah. If you read through the last group of surahs, roughly you will find these 6 stages, yeah, roughly. The first entry into the akhirah is death. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every soul will taste death. Death is the separation of the body and the soul. Ruh leaves the body. Just like Ruh entered into the fetus in the mother's womb, as the hadith mentions, yeah? Is it after, how many days is it? 120. Yeah? 120 days. The hadith is in Arba'in an-Nawawiyah, 40 hadiths of an-Nawawiyah. Hadith 4? Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Fetus, then the Ruh enters, and at the death, Ruh taken out. Death. That's why we said dead body. Ruh is gone. We then enter into the qabr, grave. Qabr can either be a pit of Jannah or may Allah protect us of Jahannam. May Allah protect us. Barzakh. Then this is the individual end of every human. Then there is a universal end. As-sa'a, the hour. Only Allah knows when that is. But we know the signs. There are indications of how close. The universe will cease to exist as we know it. إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ. the sun will wind down, shut the shop, closing time. Stars will fall, earth will come to its end, the universe will end its life as we know it. Then resurrection, qiyamah, al-qiyamah, the standing of everything. Everything will be resurrected. Qubur bu'thirat. We will come out of the grave or wherever we were. Some people, they ask silly questions. They say, what if the person died in space? So what? What's the question? Subhanallah. Ma qadarullaha haqqa qadri. We didn't think who Allah is. So resurrection, everybody would be resurrected for the hisab. Whoever did good would see it, whoever did bad would see it. Itemized bill. We should ask Allah Ta'ala, Allahumma hasabna hisaban yasira. Allah, give us the most easy account. What is it? No account. Allah, give us no account. Don't take account. Make it from as-sabiqun. The people foremost in obeying Allah will be the foremost, inshallah, to enter His paradise and His pleasure. Give us our books in the right hand. Make us happy. This is what we should be trying to do, inshallah. Accountability, and then there's the sirat. Nuruhum yas'a bayna aydihim wa bi aymanihim bushrakum al-yawm. May Allah make us from the people on the sirat, pitch black, thinner than anything, sharper than any item. We have to cross it underneath. What is underneath? Jahannam, na'udhu billah. May Allah protect us. The hadith mentions some people will run across it like lightning. May Allah make us from those people. The quicker we are to obey Allah, the quicker we will be able to pass, inshallah. Simple. And we will need a light, nur, light of iman, light of a'mal as-salihah. The light is this Sharia, this guidance, this Qur'an. This is the light. The closer we are with Qur'an, the more we are trying to be with it, follow it, try to call to it, we live for this, the more we are charging our battery now. Then on that day, the battery charger will be removed, and thus the battery, it will run. May Allah atmim lana nurana. Allah fully, 100% battery, give us full 100%. So that we can pass through that swiftly, without any problem. And then there's Jannah, there's Jahannam. May Allah enter us into Jannah immediately, and to the highest level, Firdaus al-A'la, with the Prophet ﷺ, to be with him. We should ask this. Because when you ask, you want to do it. You have ambition to do it when you ask. When you don't ask, you don't have ambition. Now, to be people of Akhirah, there's an expectation. If you believe in the Akhirah really, Allah Ta'ala has given us in Surah Al-Asr 4 characteristics. We look at the surah. In the Qur'an there are just 3 surahs that are of 3 ayat. Shortest surahs. One is Surat Al-Asr, the other is Kawthar, rhyming As, Kawthar, Nasr. They rhyme, This is one of the shortest surahs of the Qur'an. We have a whole course on this surah on our website. It's called the Quranic Framework, QFC. We have approximately, I think, 50 hours on it. Tafsir of Surat Al-Asr. This surah is telling us that Allah Ta'ala, He swears by time. Time is a witness. Time is watching mankind, since Adam till the last person. So He has seen everything, Time has seen everything. What has time observed? إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. The observation of time is that insan as a race collectively ends up in khusr, absolute total annihilation and loss, where you lose everything, your capital and your investment. However, there is an exception to this, illa, except for people who have 4 characteristics. They are saved from this loss. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, the people who have iman. Iman in Allah, akhirah, risala, and the other explanations, iman. وَعَمَلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and they then act according to this, as they should act, as they have been guided to act. Amalu salih. But it doesn't stop there. As an ummah, we have stopped here, conceptually. We put the handbrake on here. We think if we have a vision of goodness, we think if I pray, if I go to Hajj, give zakat and fast, I'm done. No, they are pillars. What are pillars? Foundation. For what? For the real structure to be built. Imagine there's just pillars here. Would you come and pray here? You can't, because there's no roof. You see? But the pillars are very important. Without pillars there's nothing. Give everything its due right. Pillars are very, very, very important. I'm not underestimating it. But we stopped there. Now there is more. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. They do tawasaw. Tawasi. What does it mean? Advise. What else?
Call them towards haq.
Call them. Yeah. What else? Tawasaw. Tawasi.
Someone else said like you're doing an action to an external.
Can't hear you.
It's doing something to an external body or external.
Okay, so you're interacting in some manner. What does it mean?
Communicating.
Communicating, but in what manner? I'm doing this on purpose, so you think. Because this is how we need to think of Qur'an. We need to think of every word. What does it actually mean? Not assume that we know what it means. Tawaso is from wasiyah. That advice that a person gives on his or her deathbed. That advice is very, very important. It has vital information that if it is not given, people who are left behind, they will occur some loss. And it is given with a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Emphasis. You must do this. Yaqub gave the advice at his deathbed. And yeah, Luqman as well. But Yaqub alayhi salam gave this advice to his children, that don't associate partner with Allah. Important advice. Tawasaw. Tawasaw means if we believe and do good, we have to tell others with emphasis, with an urgency, with an importance, to save them from destruction, to show them what is al-haq. You see that? And وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. When you do that, you have a lot of challenges. You then have to help each other as believers to help each other remain steadfast on this obedience of Allah, to remain steadfast on conveying the message, to remain steadfast even in the light of and in the face of challenges and obstacles and the opposition. 4 things. Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, he says about this surah, very famous sayings. He says, if only people were to contemplate on this surah, it would be enough for guidance. And another saying, he says, if Allah had only revealed this one surah, it would have been enough. Because it encapsulates the message. success, or rather saving ourselves from loss, we have to have iman, we have to do what Allah says, we have to, with emphasis, with an urgency, with a sense of responsibility, because we care for people, ask them to accept this truth. And we have to carry on doing that and help each other get through this difficult path and procedure by helping and strengthening each other. Tawasaw bis sabr. That is the expectation of Allah, of people who say we believe in akhirah. Because by akhirah, Allah Ta'ala says, وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. They are certain that there's hereafter. More certain that this table is here in front of me and I can touch it. They are more certain of the hereafter. So, with that summary, briefly we have elaborated on the 6 groups of surahs. When we ask for guidance in the beginning, maybe this is easier to follow. Allah Ta'ala gives us the guidance by giving us Sharia. In the Sharia we have Iman, Islam, vision. What's the vision? Convey the message. To do that we need to do 2 things. Infaq, jihad. To do that we need to be united. 3 ingredients for unity. Taqwa. Good. Hold on to the rope of Allah. Don't be divided. For a community we need to be a family, roles and responsibilities of a family, husband and wife. Then establish this guidance. Methodology of the Prophet ﷺ is what? Itmam al-Hujjah. 3 things he did, what were they? Reminded about the signs in ourselves, signs in creation, signs in history. Then Allah Ta'ala motivates us. There is a struggle between haqq and haqq is truth. What else? Reality.
Fact.
Good. Batil is good. Alhamdulillah. And then in the end we looked at the 3 groups. Proofs for Risala, proofs for Tawheed, proofs for Akhirah, and expectations. Expectation of believing in Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, love him, obey him, follow his guidance, follow his way of life, take his mission on board, conveying the Quranic message. Believing in Allah, make Allah number 1 priority, establish his guidance collectively.
Allah.
And for the Akhirah, evidences and an expectation to live a life according to Surat Al-Asr. So with that we come to the end of the session with the Azan. The brother has put the YouTube channel up here, if you take a note of it, where you can find the I think this is uploaded on that. Behind the booklet there is the QuranicFramework.com website. On that website you will find, let me quickly introduce the other 2 courses. So this, what we've just done, is not the full course, it's an introduction to the course. Yeah. The other 2 courses online is first is the Quranic Diagrammatic Overview. This is a diagram for every surah. There are 31 videos. A video explaining each juz of Quran with diagrams, and there are study tasks for every juz. Study tasks, yeah, so that you know, did I actually learn something or not. So that's one course, Quranic Diagrammatic Overviews. If you do that over 30 weeks, you'll have a good, inshallah, understanding of Quran. And then after that there is the Quranic Framework course. As I said, the tafsir of Surat Al-Asr, Quranic Framework course. Yani, just to give you an idea, which is a tafsir of Surat Al-Asr in detail. So, the way I suggest is you do this course what we've done first, When you go home now, study this course that we've got. You've got the 2 pages, yeah? Study it, the ayat, the meaning, think about it, make your own notes. Once you've understood the overview of the Qur'an, the 6 groups, then go for the diagrammatic overviews course, 30 sessions, yeah? After that, go through Surat Al-Asr course, 50 sessions, I think. This is a 2-year program, eh? Free of charge, online. The only resource is you. Alhamdulillah. Yes.
You teach your Ustad, personally?
I do tafsir of Qur'an at my home every Friday, 8 o'clock. Everybody's welcome, brothers, sisters. And I will start tafsir in Masjid of Ibrahim in Barking Road. Masjid Ibrahim is Barking Road near Upton Park, Eastern Upton Park. We've just finished the Quranic framework course there, the Surat Al-Asr one. We've had a 2-year cycle, they already finished that. We're now going to start tafsir of Quran from beginning, fresh. I think 1st or 2nd week of October. Yeah, my email is on the booklet, inside the booklet. If you take my number, take my address, I don't mind. Come and see me. I get happy if you come and see me. Nobody comes to see me. Astaghfirullah.
What day is it in Masjid Ibrahim?
Mondays, it will be a Monday, inshallah. But from the, I think, 2nd week of October, I think it is. 2nd week of October, it will be usually between Asr and Maghrib, usually. But if Maghrib is early, then it will be after Maghrib. Roughly 8 o'clock-ish. Yeah? And the one at home is on Fridays, 8 o'clock.
And to do that course, would you advise us to do, what course would you recommend to do online?
What I would suggest is first you go home and you'd go through this booklet again properly. Not the whole booklet, just the 2 pages that we've tried to cover today. This page and this page. Do it properly. Read the meaning, try to read a tafsir of it as well. If you have Ibn Kathir, usually everybody has. Or if you have Ma'riful Quran, a bit more detail. Yeah? Go through it and come to when you're stuck, ask Imam or come and see me, whoever. There we have a teacher of Quran here, alhamdulillah. Make use of our Ustadh here, inshallah. Once you get an overview, then the diagrams will make more sense. Once you've done the diagrams, inshallah, Allah will make it easier. Then Surat Al-Asr, and then, as they say, the world's your oyster after that. Sky's the limit. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. We have to end because I think we have to pray. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa jazakumullah khairan.